The Du Bois County Corrections Center is in need of more financial help. We'll tell you what was proposed during the most recent county commissioners meeting. Plus, the Northeast Du Bois School Corporation has its 2014 calendar. More from last night's school board meeting. And Rita Douthat and Christina Golden with the Jasper and Du Bois County Libraries are our guests this evening on Inform. All of that and much more is coming up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin this evening with the ongoing financial troubles for the Du Bois County Community Corrections Center. Officials with the facility are asking the county to pay for its employees' health coverage, a move that would cost the county more than $200,000 per year. Earlier this week, the Du Bois County Commissioners tabled the request, citing the need for more information before coming to a vote. The main problem stems from declining collection revenues over the last several years while state funding has not changed. Du Bois County Superior Court Judge Mark McConnell says the costs for employee health coverage has tripled in the 10 years since the current corrections facility opened. McConnell says transferring that expense for the county would be a game changer if approved.
We feel like that would solve all of our financial difficulties. Essentially, we don't feel like this has been a problem that's been brought on so much by fees being down, although that is a part of the issue. We believe that it's more a matter of expenses have increased over time. Most dramatically, of course, the cost of health insurance that has tripled in the last 10 years since the center's been open.
Now, in spite of all of this, the number of offenders that are in the work release program has been on the decline. There are currently around 200 offenders in the program, compared to as many as 250 in years past. McConnell says the positive part of the drop in enrollment is that the county's programs are working. However, the downside has been that the fees collected have dwindled, as we mentioned. McConnell says the notion that offenders aren't paying is not necessarily the full truth.
I don't think that our collections have been off that much due to difficulties with the offenders not paying. Most of the offenders are doing a good job paying. In fact, most of them are paying more than 100% of what is required on a weekly basis. Where our fees are down is in the number of offenders that we actually have on the program.
If nothing is done, the center will be $132,000 in the financial red by the end of the current fiscal year. Community Corrections Program Director J.P. Weissite has asked the state for grant money to fill the gap, but the state has not responded as of this point. Weissite says the budget can't get any lower as of this point, as he says everything has already been trimmed back to bare bones. McConnell has asked the commissioners for $210,447, which is the amount that is estimated to cover the costs of health care coverage for the 16 full-time employees at the Corrections Center. McConnell says that is not a one-time request, and the county would be paying those costs from here on out. The current Corrections Center was built 10 years ago at a cost of $3.5 million. The county agreed at that time to pay for the building after they were told that the Community Corrections Program would be self-sufficient and they would not be asking for more money. Weissite says circumstances have changed over time as the program is no longer able to rely on state grants and fees from offenders. The Du Bois County Council approved more than $44,000 for emergency funding for the program. The issue has continued to be a source of debate during the council meetings, with council members at the most recent meeting being split on what to do as far as a solution for the program. Next year's school calendar is now in place for the Northeast Du Bois School Corporation. At last night's meeting, the school board formally approved the calendar as presented for the 2014-2015 school year. The school year is set to start on August 6th next year for the Northeast Du Bois School District. There are several snow makeup dates built into next year's calendar in the event of weather days as well. These are December 22nd, January 28th, February 13th, February 16th, April 3rd, and April 6th. May 26th and 27th of 2015 would also be makeup days if they were needed. If there are no makeup days needed, those aforementioned dates, among others, would be days off of school for students. Northeast DuBois Superintendent Bill Hoaksong says the process of getting the calendar laid out is an important one for the corporation. He says the starting point for creating the calendar is actually the end of the school year and not the beginning of it.
So we start from there and work back, and then by the time you get in your breaks, which are very much needed for students and staff, whether it be spring break, fall break, Thanksgiving break, and Christmas break, by the time you get all those in and you get the 180 days that you have to get in, it starts filling up in a hurry.
Having just mentioned snow days, the corporation also heard from Hoaksong concerning this year's plan for getting the word out on school delays or cancellations. 18 WJTS and our sister station 101 Country WBDC will be among those stations where parents can go to find out about school delay or cancellation information should bad weather hit the DuBois County area this winter. That information will also be posted on our sister station's website at wbdc.us. In final notes, the school board congratulated the Northeast DuBois High School Spell Bowl team. The team won its 18th state Spell Bowl championship at the recently held 29th annual Academic Spell Bowl state finals. The title is the first one for Spell Bowl team coach Tina Fox. She says it came down to the hard work of the students involved.
My first state championship, and I cannot be more proud of my students. They worked their tails off and beat the second place team in Class 4 by 18 points, which is pretty significant win. So very proud of those kids. They work very hard and deserve that win.
Fox says the students will also be the ones that will propel the program and its tradition of success forward into the future. Northeast DuBois has won the title more than any other Spell Bowl team in state history. Now, DuBois Middle School was runner-up in the Class 4 junior division, while Forest Park High School took 4th place in the Class 3 junior division. Also last night, Hoaksong announced a special grant for one of the corporation's elementary schools. Celestine Elementary was honored with a grant from TransCanada for technology improvements at the school. The grant amount, $4,433. Finally this evening, Governor Mike Pence's office says he has requested a meeting with Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius to discuss issues that may be blocking a federal approval of using the state's health savings accounts to expand Medicaid coverage in Indiana. Pence requested the meeting in a letter that's dated November 15th and was made public by his office yesterday. The health savings accounts, more widely known as the Healthy Indiana Plan, currently insure about 40,000 Hoosiers who agree to make monthly contributions unless they qualify for exemptions, according to the Indianapolis Business Journal. Pence so far has declined to expand eligibility for Medicaid across the state. The federal health care overhaul called for states to make Medicaid available to all adults that are earning up to 138% of the federal poverty limit, but the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that states can choose not to follow that part of the plan. The Kaiser Family Foundation has projected an increase that would add as many as 180,000 people to Indiana's Medicaid rolls. Coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform featuring Rita Douthit and Christine Golden with the Jasper and DuBois County Libraries. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.